What's going on, world? My name is Serial Sensei. Appreciate you coming by, checking out my YouTube channel. If you like what you see, please consider subscribing, drop a comment, all of that good stuff. Check out the other videos on the channel if you want to see me play games elsewhere and struggle, but have a good time and try my hardest. Follow me on twitch.tv/Serial Sensei. If you are watching the video version of this, the gameplay footage you're seeing is gameplay footage I captured of me playing Gunvolt Luminous Avengers X2, which just recently came out on the Nintendo Switch not too long ago. Pretty dope game if you've never heard of the series. If you're a fan of Mega Man, or the Mega Man X games, or the Mega Man Zero games, definitely give this series a look. And also, quick note, if you see me pause a lot during the game, I did get an important phone call while I was capturing footage, so excuse the pauses. They definitely do happen. But anywho, man, I'm gonna try to jump right into this video. So I kind of struggled with what to title this because I wasn't sure if I wanted to make it specifically geared toward Twitch, because I feel like the advice can kind of relate to anybody, even if you're not specifically just a Twitch streamer. I feel like if you're in content creation in general, whether you stream, make videos, film, music, art, whatever it is you do, whatever creative endeavors you're pursuing, I feel like this advice in general should be able to hopefully help somebody out. And I ain't nobody famous, just somebody out here trying to make it just like everybody else. But I've been in and around content creation for a pretty long time, and these are just some gems that I've picked up along the way, you know, hoping to just spread them out to somebody else. Maybe somebody else will get something from this. So yeah, try not to take too long. Gonna try to get through this real quick. I say that every time, and then I end up going long, but we're gonna get us a shot. But yeah, these are seven tips for content creators. Pretty simple. Just 7 tips for content creators out there. Tip number 1: own your title. And what I mean by that is, a lot of us, and these are things that I struggle with also, every single thing on this list, so this is not me talking from some pedestal. This is for me to listen to back, because I might need some of my own advice. But own your title, meaning a lot of us try to downplay what it is that we do, like, oh, I'm up and coming artist, I'm a struggling this, I'm a fake that, or I'm trying to be. And it's like, nah, stop saying I'm trying and I'm up and coming. Like, just be what you say you are. If you wrote a book, you're an author, bruh. Like, forget the up and coming, forget the, you know, aspiring. Like, you're an author, bro. Just own it. You gotta do it as like a confidence thing. You can't down talk yourself while you're on the journey that you're on. Just own the title of whatever it is you're doing. If you put out an album, you're an artist, bro. I understand there's levels. I get it. That's a real thing. I'm not trying to not acknowledge that. There's a difference between, you know, somebody who wrote one book and then like Stephen King. You know, it's some steps in between that. But just in general terms, like, just you are what you are. Be what you say you are. If, like I said, bro, you wrote a book, you're an artist. If you put out an album, an EP, if you wrote a book, you're an author. If you put out an album, EP, mixtape, you're an artist, bro. Just own it. Walk in it, step in it, say it loud, be proud of whatever it is you do. You recorded a little indie film, you're a filmmaker. Like, just own whatever it is you are. Own it. Say it with your chest. Be brave with it. Be what you say you are, and don't try to downplay yourself while you're doing what you're doing, man. Just own that title. Own that title. Be proud of that title, whatever it is that it may be. Just wear it with pride. Say it with your chest. I think it's pretty self-explanatory. I don't gotta go too in deep on that one. Just, you know, puff your chest out, man, what you say what you are, and be what you say you are. Number 2, very important one that sometimes I forget to do. But don't stop promoting your old projects. A lot of people have this thing where I guess they feel like if it's not the newest, most fresh, most current thing that they've done, that for whatever reason they can't talk about it anymore. It's like, oh, I released this in 2017, 2018, nobody cares about it anymore. The thing is, it don't matter when you release whatever it is you release. It don't matter if it came out today in 2022. It don't matter if it came out last year, 2 years ago, 3 years ago. Thing is, it's going to be new to somebody. There is somebody out there who's never heard of you, never heard of your work, and whatever that project might be that you put out in 2018, 2015, it's still new to them. So don't stop promoting the old things that you did. Because that's going to end up being an entry point for somebody. Like I said, there's somebody out there who maybe didn't know that you create whatever it is you create, and that might be the first time they'll be able to be exposed to your work. So don't stop promoting the older projects that you've done. And a really dope thing, especially, is if you're somebody who, you know, if you have a little resume built up, you know, you got a little can't think of the word I'm trying to say, but you have numerous projects out. It's really dope, and I'd say this as somebody who consumes a lot of art. I do this a lot, especially for music. It's really dope to find an artist, and maybe I listen to their most current work, but then I go back to the first project they did, and then listen to everything up until now, just to see like the progression of how they got better, or what changed in between each project they put out. That's another reason why you shouldn't stop promoting your older things, because people will be able to see that progression you've made, you know, as an artist, as a creator, in whatever field you're doing. And it kind of makes it just feel like more personal, like they were really, you know, they really saw the journey step by step by step, and that's really dope. So if you're somebody who has multiple projects, numerous projects out, do not stop promoting the older things you've done, because there is somebody out there that hasn't seen it, and it's going to be fresh and new to them, and let them get that experience. And I can say this as someone who finally has more than one book out. All About Chronicles Volume 1 and 2, both on Amazon. You should go buy them. I put out, you know, I did promotion for my book, The All About Chronicles Volume 2. There were a lot of people who never read the first one. So now I get to do 2 sales instead of 1. Somebody's like, yo, I want to support the new book, but I never read the first one either. So they go on Amazon, they cop both of them. So now, you know, you're making money, man. Some money out in these streets. You got to know how to make it. I ain't balling like that, but I'm just saying, you know, the people that really, really rock with you and really support, some of them might be willing to go back and purchase that first project or whatever it is that you put out, and then purchase everything up until the most, you know, current or recent thing that you have out. So do not stop promoting your older projects. Somebody out there needs to hear it. If it's up for sale, somebody's willing to buy it. Don't miss out on, you know, future fans, future customers, whatever it is. I don't know what line of work you might do, whoever's listening to this, but somebody needs to hear or witness that older thing you did, and, you know, promote it. Keep talking about it. Be proud of your work. Put it out there. Somebody out there might like it. So do not stop promoting your older projects. Tip number 3. Collab with folks, man. Collaboration. This is something that I struggle with a lot, because I enjoy writing, because it's a very solitary activity and I don't have to really rely on other people. I can kind of just do it on my own. But I'm not saying you have to collab all the time, but I think it's a good idea to collaborate when you can. For many reasons. It's always good to just somebody else in your field, to be able to work with them. Y'all might be able to learn things from each other. You might, you know, they get to see your process, you get to see their process. Y'all can exchange ideas. Most importantly, really, I don't care what creative field you're in. We're all trying to get somewhere. And, excuse me, a lot of us are trying to reach the same or similar destinations. And it doesn't make sense for you to try to climb up the mountain by yourself when you got people that are willing to pull you up, try to help you keep going. You know, you in turn can pull the next person up. And that's why collaborations are so important. It's easier for us to all lift each other up instead of us just, you know, trying to go solo and, you know, trying to just thug it out by ourselves. Like, nah, man, reach out to people. And I know a lot of people are apprehensive about collaborations because you might get rejected, and that might happen. That is a possibility that you have to be prepared for, that not everybody you reach out to may be willing to want to work with you, or, you know, for whatever reason. Don't take it personal. It is what it is. But in my experiences, I haven't collaborated very often with people. But to be honest, the times I have, it was a lot easier than I thought it was. Because I think we have this idea that, oh, I'm going to try to collab and, man, I'm going to send them this email and they're going to ghost me, or they're going to cuss me out and say no. Like, we go through this whole anxiety trip in our head of what we think it's going to be. And to be honest, a lot of the times it's not that bad. I mean, at most, it's going to take some coordination, like, all right, you know, what schedule's like, you know, what are you trying to do, what's the goal? But, like, once you're actually in the mode of collaborating, it's not as hard as you think it is. The Dojo Talk podcast that I did, that I had for 3 years, was a collaboration. It was something I knew that I didn't want to do by myself. So I was, back when Tumblr was like popping, you know, I was on Tumblr. Shout outs to my co-host, the Anti-Cool. At the time, I knew of him through Tumblr, but we had never, like, talked before. And I literally just sent him a message like, yo, I'm about to do I want to do a podcast talking about combat sports. I know about combat sports. You know more than me about combat sports. What say you? And he was like, yeah, let's do it. And that was it. Like, that was it. And we did that podcast for 3 years. Shout outs to the Anti-Cool. Still the homie to this day. You know, it was simple. Like, you just gotta shoot your shot, man. Send that email, send that DM. Be professional about it though. Don't be tagging folk being real tacky with it. You know, be professional. Even though I guess that Tumblr example wasn't super professional. But you get what I'm saying. Like, just, you know, me and Antaku had like a rapport somewhat, so I felt kind of okay approaching it how I did. But, you know, be professional when you're approaching people. You know, have a clear idea of what it is that you're trying to do. And like I said, a lot of people we're all trying to get to the same spot or somewhere similar. There's somebody out there that's willing to help you get to where you're going. They'll benefit from it. You'll benefit from it. You know, you can mix your fans with theirs, or y'all can just gain more fans in general. Like, it's gonna be a good look for everybody. So definitely, man, collaborate when you can. It's I feel like more often than not, it's gonna lead to a good experience. Tip number 4, kind of a piggyback off of collaboration, in a roundabout adjacent way, but you got to put yourself out there. You could have the illest, dopest, most fire, creative thing, music, art, best Twitch stream of all time, but if you don't promote yourself in any kind of way and nobody knows who you are, then it don't really matter. You'll just have the most fire mixtape that nobody will ever hear because you never put yourself out there. Hey, listen, I ain't gotta say you gotta be some social media mogul, mass influencer, whatever you want to call it. But you gotta mingle with the folks a little bit. And I know a lot of us in creative fields, myself included, we're introverts. We don't really like talking to people like that. I get it. But you don't gotta fake it. Like, just link up with like-minded people who have the same general interests that you do. Build genuine connections with people. it might take some time. You know, not all of us are able to make friends or acquaintances as quick as others, but you do kind of have to put yourself out there. And that's kind of another reason why my first point about owning your title, I think, is really important. I feel like when you're kind of confident with what you do, you're more willing to put yourself out there. You know, if you kind of tiptoeing like, oh, I'm an artist, but I'm not that good, and I do music, but I'm just you know, kind of downplay it. You're kind of less willing to put yourself out there. But if you're confident in what you do, and you are who you say you are, you probably be more willing to step out and be like, yo, I'm a filmmaker, bro. I made this indie film. This joint fire. You should watch it. And you know, some people might be put off by that confidence, but hey, man, you gotta do what you gotta do. You gotta sell yourself a bit. We live in an age of content creation where there's millions of stuff to watch at any given moment. So you gotta kind of sell people on why they should check out whatever it is you have to offer. And that's super super important. So, you know, put yourself out there, man. Link up with folks, you know, promote yourself, share your work, explain your work. You know, that's definitely a tip that helps. If you make music, whatever it is you make, you know, you can explain to people the process of how you created whatever piece of art and what was going through your mind, what was it tied to, so on and so forth. You know, you got to generate that kind of buzz for yourself. And like I said, I can't drive this point home enough. Going back to the first point I made about owning your title, when you're more confident in what you're doing, you'll be more willing to put yourself out there. So put yourself out there, man. Just, you know, get on your little publicity grind. I know publicity has like a bad connotation to it, but you know, just put yourself out there a little bit, man. You'll be fine. I promise most of the things you think that are gonna happen in terms of negatives either won't happen, or even if they do happen, it's nowhere near as bad as you think it is. Promise you it's not. So put yourself out there, man. Get your work in front of as many eyes as you can. Tip number 5. This don't really need much explanation. I think I've said this in another video, but I'm gonna say it again. Save up money, bro. I don't care what line of creative work you are in. You need to have some kind of creative investment fund and an account or something that's just for your creative endeavors. Unless you are a one person army and a machine and you can do everything on your own. I mean, if you are, that's great. You can save money that way. But if you are like me, I can write, but that's pretty much all I can do. I can't make art. I'm really bad at promo. I have to pay people to do other things that I severely lack in, and those things cost money. So if you can, you know, we all got different financial situations. I don't know what yours is, but save whatever it is you can. Whatever it is you can. $5 a check, $10 a check, whatever you can afford to save, please do it, because at some point you are going to have to pay somebody to help you with whatever project you're working on, and you're gonna need that money, especially if you want your work to be of quality. You want that high quality product. If you pay somebody to help you, you're gonna have to pay a high quality price. Save up that money. And if you don't got funds like that, if you're unable to, you know, if you're not in that good of a financial situation, unfortunately, you're just gonna have to learn how to do a lot of stuff on your own. And that's honestly kind of the reality of it. Or, like I said, collab. All my points tie back into each other. There are people out there, and this has happened to me personally, there's people out there who might see you. You never know who's watching your work. They might like what you're doing, and they just want to be a part of the journey. And they might be willing to help you at a discount price. Some might offer for free. Now, I'm not saying exploit people. Don't do that. That's terrible. But there might be some help out there. But yeah, save money, bro. Save money. Just save money. You're gonna need it. You're going to need it. Moving along. Point number 6. Find a trusted critique partner. Please, and whatever you do, don't be surrounded by yes men. Yes men are not good people. They won't get you where you need to go. They will have you stagnant, not making any progress. You need to find at least one person who you can send your art, your creative work, whatever it is to, somebody who can look at your work with a critical eye and be able to point out the flaws in what it is you're doing so that you can get better. And you need to learn how to not take the criticism personally. Because you got to understand that this person, assuming that you trust them, I would hope you find somebody that you trust. The criticism isn't to hate on your art. It's just saying like, hey, this is cool, but I think you could improve on X, Y, X, Y. You know, maybe you should do this instead of this, or, you know, what you did was good, but have you thought about maybe adding this? You know, you want some other ideas, because you're not going to catch everything, which is the reason why I always say as a writer, you definitely need to get an editor, because there are just mistakes and things that you are going to miss. But like I said, this goes for any creative endeavor. I don't care what it is you make or create. Have somebody that you can trust who can look at your work with a critical eye, an objective eye, and be able to give you tips and pointers on how you can improve. It's so important. It's so important, because I'm telling you, if you don't have somebody that you can trust who can look at your work and let you know really how good or bad it is, it's gonna hurt you in the long run. It's really going to hurt you. But like I said, you have to be receptive to that feedback. There are so many people who take all feedback as just hating. I can't stand those kind of people. Not everybody's trying. I know, you know, it's your piece of art, it's your baby. You done worked on it for God knows how long, but bro, somebody's got to tear it apart. Somebody's got to tear it apart. Quick story. I'm pretty sure I probably mentioned this on a podcast, or I'm pretty sure I've told this story before. But way back when, I was trying to get into writing screenplays, which I'm still not great at, and I haven't done in a while. I need to get on that. But I was trying to write screenplays, and I sent a screenplay. I paid for an editing service, and I sent the screenplay off to the editing service. Actually, it wasn't even an editing service. It was just like a general like outlook, like a critique service. Like, hey, how is this? Because I've never really written a screenplay before. And boy, when I got that email back, they tore my screenplay to shreds, stomped on it, burned it, they cut it up, dissected it in 1,000 little pieces. But when I sat back and really read it, I was like, you know what? I can't really dispute anything that was in this email. And in turn, that really made me approach not even just screenwriting, just writing in a different way. I realized that some of the flaws I had that needed to be corrected. Albeit that was a service, that wasn't a person that I knew personally, but I was still able to objectively look at that advice and be like, you know what, this is what I paid for, and they did their job. They critiqued this screenplay down to the T, and they were 100% right. But I had to be receptive to that information. Had I not, now I could have just been a hater and be like, you know what you're talking about, greatest screenplay of all time. It wasn't, but I could have told myself that, and then I probably would have never improved. I'd just been a stagnant, bitter writer, thinking I was, you know, big man on campus, when I really wasn't. Was not that guy at all. So find critique partners, bro. Please find a critique partner. It will help you out in the long run, and as long as it's somebody you trust, I promise you, it will greatly improve your product, whatever that product may be. And the last tip that I have here, written down on my sticky notes: Know your why. Know your why. Meaning, you need to be very intentional. This is something that I definitely need to work on a lot. A whole lot. Be intentional about what you're creating, what you're doing, and understand the path that you are on and what comes with that path. I feel like when you're intentional about what you're doing, you tend to yield much more positive results. I feel like you tend to hit the goal or the whatever it is you're trying to reach. You tend to reach that goal much faster when you're being purposeful about what you're doing. And this can be hard because sometimes, you know, I'm kind of a person where sometimes, a lot of times, I don't know my why. I kind of do things just to do them. But I found in the few times when you really sit down and you start a project, right? Whatever it is. It's good to just like sit down and figure out like, all right, why am I creating this project? Is there a goal that I want this project to hit? Is there like a certain message I'm trying to convey? What am I actually trying to get out of this? And once you actually figure out the why, it really helps you stay on track with what you're doing instead of fumbling and falling all over the place. People can kind of tell when your projects are disjointed. It will show in the art. So when you know your why and you understand why you're doing what you're doing and you're intentional about it, it's going to be much more laser focused. It's going to be much more dialed in, which is what you want. You really want to be intentional and have a clear goal about what it is I'm trying to accomplish. What is it that I'm trying to do? And what comes with the path that I'm taking. For example, maybe I want to write a book and I want it to have some kind of message. So, you know, maybe I don't want to be super blatant with the message, but I try to weave it in and there, you know, throw some subliminals, drop a little, some real subtle, you know, whatever. And that's how I go about it. But I kept that in my head, so it happened. You know, I knew that I wanted to spread this message, so I kind of kept that theme subtly throughout the book, and that's how people kind of get it. Really, one thing also that I think about a lot during this is like people who get. I'll actually use Twitch for an example because I think Twitch is actually a great example of asking the why. Like, why do you want to be on Twitch? Why do you want to stream? Are you just doing this as a hobby? Because depending on what you're doing this for, you'll know what to expect on the path that you're going on. So let's say if I just want to do it as a hobby, I'm not trying to look for anything crazy. I'm not trying to be famous. I don't think it's going to be a full-time job. I'm just here to have fun. Then you can temper expectations accordingly. It's like, all right, so I'm just doing this as a hobby, so I can't really expect that I'm going to make a living off of doing this. Not saying that it couldn't happen, but it's less likely because if I'm doing it as a hobby, I'm probably not putting as much effort into it as someone who is like trying to make a career out of it. So I can adjust expectations accordingly. I'm doing it as a hobby, so I can't get mad if nobody subscribes to my channel. This is just a hobby anyway. What do I care? Now, let's say I'm trying to do it for money, which isn't a bad thing. I don't care what you're doing. I don't care if you're trying to just be YouTube famous. I'm not shunning nobody. If you're doing it, whatever you're doing to strictly make money, that's completely fine. But you need to understand, alright, if I'm doing whatever to make money, what can I do in this content that is going to get me the bag? Which means it's definitely going to have to be high quality. You're going to have to put more work in. You're going to have to do research. You're going to have to put way more effort into it than somebody who's just doing this as a hobby. So, like I said, once again, adjust expectations accordingly. If I'm doing this for the bag, then I need to do quality work that's going to get me the bag. I can't have the hobby mindset. I can't have what am I trying to say? I can't have a career goal with the hobby mindset. That's not compatible. That don't work like that. If I want this to be a career, then I have to treat it like a career. I need to be consistent. I need to show up this many days a week. I need to put this many hours into it. I need to do this. I need to do that. You know, I got to do whatever I got to do to make this of high quality so that people are willing to pay for my product. And like I said, that can be really hard. A lot of people don't know the why or take time to figure out the why. They just kind of jump into stuff and whatever happens. That's kind of the person I am, which I got to get better at. Sometimes I don't know my why, but you know, when you know your why, like I said, you know how to adjust expectations accordingly. It'll help you adjust expectations accordingly. It'll help you figure out what it is you actually should be doing to get where you're trying to get to. So like I said, if you're trying to do something strictly for money, that's cool. You better put in that money work to make sure that happens. And if you're doing something as a hobby, then it's just a hobby. You know, you can't feel any kind of way when you're not seeing the growth you hoped you would, because it's just a hobby. You're not putting in the extra work to make it a career. So if it's just a hobby, then it's just a hobby. You know, it kind of just is what it is. But in general, knowing your why is very, very important in content creation. Low key in life in general, but we ain't gonna get philosophical out here. But just knowing your why, being intentional about whatever it is you're creating, will keep you on the straight and narrow path. It'll keep you from getting sidetracked and distracted. You know, it'll help you get where you're trying to go, I think, much faster than somebody who's just out here just kind of winging it. Which take it from me, that's me in life, just winging it. Like I said, some of this advice is for me too. I got to get better. But yeah, don't be out here just winging it if that's not your goal. If you're really trying to make it out here and you're really trying to turn your art, whatever it is, into a living, then you gotta be able to. You gotta know that you gotta put in that work. You gotta really, really do what you can to the highest of quality every single time. Best foot forward every single time if you're really trying to make this, you know, whatever it is you're doing, a career. In terms of your, you know, creative field. But yeah, I'm gonna get out of here before I end up rambling more. I just wanted to get this video out here, man. I've honestly meant to record this for a while, but today I finally had a little bit of time to do it. So these are 7 tips for content creators. And like I said, I don't care if you do Twitch, make music, you know, film, videos, art, whatever it is you do. I feel like some of these tips hopefully should resonate with you, and none of them I don't think are mind-blowing. It's probably not anything you haven't heard before, but hey man, cliches are cliches for a reason. They're true. Some of them I think we just need to drill them in our head to really, really get the point, myself included. But yeah, man, that's gonna be it for the video today. And once again, my name is Serial Sensei. You can follow me on Twitter, on IG at Serial Sensei. Follow me on Twitch at Serial Sensei. Purchase my book, The Oddball Chronicles, Volume 1 and 2, both on Amazon. Links for those will be in the description below. Once again, the game, if you're watching the video version, Gunvolt Luminous Avenger X. Dope game. Check it out if you haven't. You see me out here. I'm working. I died a lot. I don't know if y'all noticed, but I had a good time though. But man, I'm out, man. Y'all be safe out there as always. Wear a mask, wash your hands, drink water, and until next time, I will see y'all later.